Okay, hello now and welcome to today's webinar, How to Future-Proof Your Revenue Management Strategy. Thank you for taking time and being here with us today. Let me start sharing the materials that we have. Okay. Here we go. The presentation is on, and let me start with presenting myself. My name is Inna Shevchenko. I'm Chief Marketing Officer at IGMS. And as the title of event says, we're going to focus on the revenue management strategy building, looking closer at Wheelhouse Software, our new integrated partner, and discover how the integration of IGMS and Wheelhouse actually works. We'll be running a live Q&A session at the end of the webinar. So you're welcome to write all your questions in chat. And at the end, we'll go over all those questions. If you miss anything, don't worry about it. We'll be sending the recording when it's available. So let's start. Luckily, today we have more speakers than just me. We also have Amelia Melching, who is Enterprise Sales and Client Management Lead at Wheelhouse. So, Amelia, I'll pass the word to you.
Sure.
For the introduction.
I'm Amelia from Wheelhouse. Excited to be here today. Two of Wheelhouse's big goals for this past year have been to expand into way more markets, which we've accomplished, as well as growing our integration partners. And IGMS was definitely at the top of that list. So really excited to be kicking off this partnership with y'all. I am, again, Amelia. I'm on the enterprise sales and client management team at Wheelhouse. So I work with clients before, during, and after the sales process, working to educate them on how our model works, how to best optimize the platform, how to use our tools to implement the revenue management strategy. And I also manage our blog. So I post a lot of our blog content, also based around education. So that's my role at Wheelhouse.
Thank you so much, Amelia, for the introduction. I also would like you to welcome Oksana Tichenko, who is our customer care specialist at IGMS. Oksana, do you want to say a few words?
Thank you, Inna. Hello, everyone. And so I'm a customer care specialist here at IGMS. And every day I help our users to understand our system better. And also today I'm going to briefly demonstrate you how to actually connect Wheelhouse to IGMS.
Thank you, Oksana. So, following our agenda today, let me first introduce you to IGMS if you're not familiar with the system just yet. Essentially, IGMS is a property management platform for professional hosts and property management companies that helps to simplify all daily operations and increase the ROI at scale. With all our features, we help hosts to manage their business completely on autopilot. IGMS enables you to operate accounts from different OTAs via a single interface. And we do have a bunch of great features. And no matter if you manage one or 100 properties, IGMS is on a mission to make your operations easier and more effective. Most popular features would include automated guest messaging, reviews, tools for team coordination, channel manager, financial reporting, payment processing, and direct booking management toolkit as well. But really, features don't mean much if you don't see a great outcome. And our clients do see results. In average, our clients increase their occupancy rate by 20% and see the increase in profit by 33% during the first 60 days of system usage. And lastly, they are able to put their property management business completely on autopilot. Okay, the next slide. So this is basically why IGMS is trusted by thousands of hosts, and huge, well-known enterprise companies are among them as well. But don't take just our word to it. It's always good to find out what other people think about the product, right? And we are so proud to say that our customers love IGMS. Here you can see just 3 reviews from our users. And they value it for so many different things. It helps to add new units. Some customers love the integration with the platforms and how easy it is to use IGMS. Some love team management feature for cleaners, for instance, and it saves so many hours of time that really customers love it. Uh, and eventually, with the help of IGMS, you'll be able to provide a better customer experience. That's what our customers say, and we love that our product provides so many great points to them. But those were just three reviews you've seen, but of course there are many more, and you can find some of them on Capterra. For instance, there we have a rating of 4.7 out of 5 based on 208 reviews. So you are very welcome to read what others think about us. Apart from that, our software is recognized by industry leaders and authorities and some software review platforms as well. This year, we have already got 8 prestigious industry awards, and 2 years in a row, we were recognized as one of the best property management software by Capterra. Another thing we're really proud is that this year we are recognized as a preferred software partner by Airbnb. And at the end of IGMS introduction, it's worth mentioning that we actually grant a free 14-day trial to all users with no credit card required. And if you're not our user yet, you know what to do. I invite you to try out our fixtures in action with our free trial. Okay. With that said, we'll be moving to our main topic, how exactly revenue automation works and what are the benefits. And the integration with Wheelhouse actually will help you tremendously. I can name only 5 of those. And first one is you will save time on your market analysis. Wheelhouse does this job for you and helps you come up with the most appropriate pricing for your rental. Furthermore, it optimizes your rates as per market fluctuations every 24 hours. Second, you will keep your pricing competitive. Wheelhouse monitors your competitors' rates and ensures that you don't leave money on the table and actually are keeping your calendar full. Thirdly, you will receive personalized pricing recommendations. Whether you're a single property host or a property manager with hundreds or even thousands of listings, a Wheelhouse caters to every segment of vacation rental professionals. Fourth, you will get prices updated automatically. Isn't it great? You don't need to access every platform where your properties are listed. If you manage your properties on IGMS, for instance, pricing recommendations will be pushed automatically to all your units without your involvement. And lastly, you will maximize your vacational rental revenue. Well, the end goal of automated revenue management is basically to ensure that you make the most of what you have while saving your time on market research and data analysis. As Wheelhouse tracks for various factors on everyday basis, you can expect higher earnings. But there is so much more about it when it comes to how Wheelhouse can help you and what is revenue management all about. That is why it's time for me to pass the word to our charming Amelia and tell so much more about the Wheelhouse and revenue management.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah,
I think that's a great summation, and I'm excited to dive into, I think, each of those areas just a bit more. So how Wheelhouse enhances your revenue management. So first of all, important to note, what exactly is Wheelhouse? So Wheelhouse is an award-winning, best-in-class revenue management software tool for the short-term rental industry. So we have a dynamic pricing tool that's built on top of an incredibly powerful pricing engine, which I'll dive into a bit more. Our team of developers, engineers, and data scientists have been building this for over 6 years now. So it's incredibly powerful and has earned, on average, per listing around 22% more, whereas some others have earned 100% more. So we're really looking to maximize your revenue with your existing inventory. Wheelhouse is incredibly easy to set up, customize, and automate. So I'm excited to show you a bit more about how exactly that works. And then we're also still excited about winning the DARM 2021 People's Choice Award for Innovation just a few months ago at the conference. I think it really just speaks to how far the tool has come in the past year. And I'm excited to show you some of those more recent updates. So that's Wheelhouse in a nutshell, tons more to dive into. So a bit about the Wheelhouse pricing engine first. So again, we have a pricing engine that our dynamic pricing tool is built on top of. And so this is really what's driving your recommendations every single day. So we're updating those prices every day based on billions of market data points. So in a nutshell, this is how the model works. So for each of your individual listings, we'll come up with a unique base price recommendation. So for that, we're looking at factors that don't change much about your listing throughout the year, like attributes, fees, the exact location, booking history is really important. Number of people that can be accommodated on the property, things like that. And so that's really what kicks off the algorithm, but that's also customizable. So we'll come up with the recommendation, but if you have a specific starting point for your prices that you want to implement, you can easily customize that as well. And then from there, we're leveraging our predictive model, which is looking at historical and current market prices and seeing where it makes sense to place you on that line. And that's where other pricing tools stop. But what makes Wheelhouse really unique is our reactive model. So that's our demand-based model that's looking at real-time bookings in your area. And then we're factoring in that transactional data into your pricing to give you a real source of truth as to what is actually booking in your market. Everybody knows that since COVID, historical data is really tricky to leverage, and you don't know when you can trust it versus when you can't trust it. So it's good to have the demand-based real-time bookings factored into your pricing so you know exactly what's really booking in your market. And then, of course, most people want to know what's powering this amazing pricing engine, and it's Key Data's proprietary data. So I may touch on this a bit more in a bit, but Key Data chose Wheelhouse as their preferred pricing partner. Both of our teams have big priorities around transparency, which I'll dive into a bit more. But we have completed the ingestion of all of that data, and we are now available worldwide. So no matter what market you're in, you're able to shoot us a request, and then we can have it spun up in just a few days. So really excited to bring this model to more and more people. And if you have questions on how this model works, feel free to drop in the chat. We have teammates ready to answer some questions. So that's the model. And then when it comes to revenue management, you're able to implement your specific strategy within Wheelhouse. So all of your listings would be connected through IGMS, and then you'll spend a bit of time within each listing setting, your minimum night stay strategy, your minimum price. You can really put in parameters just to make sure that you're never getting surprise rates and it's really in line with what you're expecting for your market. As well as last minute discounts, things like that. We can really help you throughout the onboarding process, kind of tweak your strategy to include these settings and see where it makes sense to make adjustments, particularly with minimum night stays and minimum price. Those just got a really cool update just last week. So now you can set various minimum night stays or minimum prices per day, week, per month. So say during your summer months, you want to increase your minimum night stay on the weekends versus a different requirement for either lower demand seasons or winter months, things like that. You're really able to specify exactly what you're expecting for your length of stay per month on a daily level. So I'm happy to, if you want to reach out, I'm happy to show you that on a more specific granular view. And then we also have a few other really handy tools just to touch on. If you like for our future pricing here in the bottom right, we really have been recommending people get more aggressive with that strategy just because since COVID, lead times in most markets have been pretty volatile and it's hard to determine what prices are going to be further out. So you're able to put in a far future pricing strategy to protect those further out dates, give the algorithm time to pick up on that real-time transactional data, and then appropriately price your bookings further out. So lots more to see there, but we'll keep it moving. So once you have all those settings input, you're going to spend a lot of time in your portfolio view here on the right. That's where you can skim through your rates that already have all of your settings and parameters in place. And then we make it really easy to adjust either your prices or your settings in just a few clicks. But you can also do it on an individual listing level. So I know with different homeowners, things like that, there can be specific rules that you're going to want to implement, like specific, minimum prices, minimum night stays. Some owners never want, a one night stay versus others who will allow it as you're getting closer to a stay date. So you're really able to get specific with those requirements. And then you can make those adjustments in bulk as well. So you can filter by either number of bedrooms, a specific market. We have a nicknaming tool. So if you wanted to group your listings and then filter by that nickname and then make adjustments to, your minimum night stays, your minimum price, overall pricing, then you can do that in just a few clicks as well across multiple listings. So both on a granular listing by listing basis, as well as very easy and quick adjustments in bulk as well. And here's our sales@usewheelhouse.com. If you want to reach out for a demo and kind of see this further in action, we're happy to show you around. And then if you have any specific use cases that you're wondering if you're able to implement within Wheelhouse, drop it in the chat and we can give a brief, synopsis of what that might look like in the tool. So we have our dynamic pricing tool, which will help dynamically price your listings on a daily basis. But we also have a number of business intelligence tools that, once your settings are input, and your configurations are up and running, then you'll find that you have more time because you're not doing manual pricing to play around with some of these really interesting tools. And these all together just make it really easy to identify where you might want to go on your calendar to make pricing adjustments. So our market reports will give you a good overview of your market. You're able to see what's booking, when it's booking, and how much it's booking for on a granular inventory type level. Our comp sets allow you to see a more granular view of your competition's pricing every single day. You can see their settings, you can see your neighbors, minimum night stay, as well as their projected revenue and occupancy. And we make it really easy to customize your competitive set. So we'll come up with a recommended set for each of your listings, but then you're able to create a custom set if you want to keep an eye on specific competitors as well. Our Insights tab really speaks to our priorities around transparency. So you're able to see how our models are working to create your pricing recommendations every single day. If you see a big spike in pricing and you're wondering if that's coming from historical data or real-time bookings, you can very easily determine that on the Insights tab. And then lastly, the Bookings tab. This is one of the only tools that was made for revenue managers' specific needs. It allows you to see your pacing, how much revenue is on the books, and where exactly it's coming in. So you can see on a daily level when your bookings are coming in, keep an eye on your pacing and see where it makes sense to pump up your rates where there's a lot of bookings taking place in one instance. So some of our business intelligence tools that you can use to paint your revenue management strategy within Wheelhouse. So a few more areas. What else makes Wheelhouse special? We have 2 flexible pricing options. So you can do 1% of revenue. That does not include taxes or fees. Or you can do a flat rate, which is discounted per portfolio size. So starting at around 10 listings, you'll get a discount, and then it increases the larger your portfolio gets. And you can split that on a listing by listing basis. So if it makes sense to put some listings in 1% versus the flat rate, given market conditions, things like that, you're able to do that. So I've yet to run into someone who can't find a combination of the two that makes them more money overall. That's the goal we want to make: maximize your revenue and not take it away from you. Wheelhouse, again, is highly customizable, so you're really able to benefit from a really powerful pricing engine while being able to put your specific requirements in. So we would never claim to know your listings better than you do. So we really allow a lot of room for you to paint your personal strategy. Transparency. So I touched on this a few times, but we are the only team to publish our research. So on our blog, you can easily find it on our website. Our head of data science, Dr. Andreas, has published exactly how our pricing model works. And so we really open the doors. Again, we don't expect you to trust us blindly. We really want you to take a look and audit us and ask us questions. We'd love to have that conversation. We allow you to export all of your data, all of your competitors' information, things like that. So it's your information. We want you to be able to use it however you would like. We also have an amazing customer success team. They are 24/7, so you can talk to a real person either on the chat or hop on a call. They really are one of our strong suits. So we like to be available to everyone, no matter the time. If you're working funky hours, you can reach someone to help whenever you'd like. And then we also have amazing Trustpilot reviews. So just to name a few, you can check it out yourself. You don't just have to take our word for it. Most of them are around, increasing the revenue overall while making their job a lot easier. And then you'll rarely see one that doesn't mention our customer success team as well. So that's Wheelhouse in a nutshell. We have our dynamic pricing tool that will update your prices every single day. And then we also have our business intelligence tools that make it really easy to optimize your listings. So on to a bit more about revenue management and dynamic pricing in general. So whether you're looking to implement a pricing tool or really just enhance your revenue management strategy overall, I'm going to talk through just a few areas that you might want to start with, some questions that could get your brain jogging. So there's revenue management, which is basically the process of managing your inventory in a way that's going to maximize revenue and RevPAR over time. So some examples of this, if you're looking to enhance that strategy, are you decreasing your rate in the short term to drive occupancy? So all of these, there's really easy ways to implement these within Wheelhouse, which we can help you with. So if you're decreasing rates in the short term to drive occupancy, you can implement that with last minute discounts. We also have tools that make it easy to see when bookings are coming in your market, to see when it makes sense to start dropping those prices, as well as see, if you have a stay date coming up and you still don't have a booking, we make it really easy to see when that's happening. You can increase the rate on dates that are likely to sell out. And again, we make it easy to identify what exactly those days are. You can also change your minimum length of stay restrictions by season or according to days before arrival. So right now, if you're doing it manually, you might be checking your listings here and there and seeing when you don't have any bookings coming up, and then manually dropping the price or the minimum length of stay to increase that occupancy. But within Wheelhouse, you are able to set up those settings ahead of time. So say you're within 7 days of a stay date, if you don't have a booking, you can set it so that it will drop the minimum length of stay or the minimum price down to increase your occupancy. So it really depends on what you have in mind for those occupancy versus revenue goals. And then you can also, of course, set up specific pricing and settings restrictions for expected events, either ones that Wheelhouse is picking up on, or, I'm sure a lot of you have been in your market for over 10 years and you know it like the back of your hand. So if you just want to specify pricing for the specific days ahead of time, you can do that to really have that peace of mind moving forward. So Wheelhouse will be, of course, reacting to demand changes on a daily level, but this makes it really easy to fully optimize given length of stay and have really quality bookings coming in. And then we have dynamic pricing as well. So dynamic pricing is basically setting prices given current market demand. So most of you are already familiar with this. It's been around for a long time with airlines, setting different prices for the same seat, given demand trends, as well as restaurants, of course, capitalizing on particularly busy times of day. In the short-term rental space, this really looks like capitalizing on demand given seasonality, day of week, things like that. So the combination of an advanced revenue management strategy and dynamic pricing, especially within Wheelhouse, we make it really easy to combine the two to really grow on the inventory that you already have. So you can grow your revenue vertically rather than always having to increase your portfolio to increase your revenue. We really make it easy to capitalize on the inventory that you already have within Wheelhouse. So that's revenue management versus dynamic pricing. We combine the two within Wheelhouse to maximize your revenue. So just a bit more on the benefits of revenue management and why you might look to increase, advance your strategy a bit, either with Wheelhouse or just in general. So overall, occupancy contributes far more to RevPAR than ADR growth. So as a refresher, RevPAR is your average daily rate times your occupancy. So if your occupancy is unoptimized, and you're not getting the bookings in because your daily rate is too high, then sometimes it makes sense to drop that daily rate down just a bit to increase your occupancy, because that's going to have far greater impact on your RevPAR over time than that small incremental growth in average daily rate. So this is also something that is pretty easy to see within Wheelhouse to check if your occupancy is optimized. Next, the market moves pretty quickly. It always has, but especially since COVID, it's been even more unpredictable, and it's really hard to tell what information you can rely on historically versus what you have to, keep up with on the market on the fly. So Wheelhouse is, again, we're automatically reacting to changes in demand every single day for you. So you really don't have to worry about it, but we also make it easy to identify where those big spikes in real-time demand are to see where you might want to increase your rates a bit more even. And then lastly, legitimacy in an environment of dynamically priced properties. So we're not only pumping up your rates just blindly given market trends, we're looking at what demand is really relevant to your listings and then pricing your properties appropriately. So of course, it might be exciting to get a room night booked at a much higher rate than you expected, but then you're going to pay for it with a poor review on quality versus what they paid for it. So we really help to appropriately price your listings. We'll look to maximize revenue in high demand days and then optimize occupancy in low demand days. So I believe that's all we have for the overview of Wheelhouse and revenue management. Again, reach out if you want a closer look at the platform, but I'm excited for us to show you how exactly the integration works with IGMS.
Shared all the tips and hacks regarding the revenue management, and now all our attendees have better understanding of what Wheelhouse is and what is dynamic pricing and what is revenue management automation. So great. And I think it's just time to move on and actually to dive deeper into technical part of things.
Sure.
This is where Oksana is gonna help us and show how exactly the flow works, how exactly IGMS integrates with Wheelhouse. So with this said, I'll pass this virtual stage to Oksana Tishinkawa, customer care specialist.
Thank
Sure, go ahead. We do see our Wheelhouse dashboard at the moment.
and we will be start connecting it from the IGMS end. So we just go to the accounts and listings, open the
Thank you so much, Oksana, for showing how just easy it is. And yeah, it is. Indeed, really, it takes a couple of clicks. Um, so thanks again for sharing this technical side of things. Now, I guess we now can move on to the last part of our webinar, which is Q&A session. Mm, and I invite all of you to share your questions in the chat. In fact, I do see one question that Amelia has already answered, but just for everyone to understand, maybe someone else also has this question. So Kelly was asking, uh, will everything be integrated into one program, or will I need to have both IGMS and Wheelhouse? And just as Amelia answered, yes, you do need both, and Oksana has just shown that you need both accounts. But the good news is that you can actually continue to operate everything from one account from IGMS once the Wheelhouse is integrated. But yeah, you need subscription for both services, for IGMS and for the Wheelhouse. Okay, maybe some more questions are there. Just type them in the chat. Mhm.
Yeah, it might be helpful to talk through kind of what onboarding with the two looks like logistically. So what will happen is you can reach out to Wheelhouse for a demo, and then we'll show you around the platform, things like that. And then if you choose to move forward, then you'll work with our sales team and customer success team. We will integrate right to IGMS. So it'll automatically pull in all of your listings, and then they will default to a free tier within Wheelhouse. And then from there, we can do a pricing comparison. So we'd be able to see your current pricing versus what Wheelhouse would be recommending. And then from there, we can see where it would make sense to go with Wheelhouse's recommendation versus showing you how you could very easily adjust the platform to meet your current expectations. And then from there, you can turn on one or two listings and just do a trial run. You can turn on an individual listing basis and then see how it works for you. And then you can set up as many calls as is helpful with our team to get comfortable with the platform and confident in the pricing. And then you could slowly turn on the rest of your listings. But those just take a bit of time investment up front, just spending maybe 5 to 10 minutes per listing, making sure that the configurations are in and all of your parameters are set. And then from there, it's pretty automated. You'll spend a lot of time in that portfolio view, just skimming through rates and settings and making adjustments in just a few clicks.
Mm-hmm. All right. By the way, if you do have questions that you have in terms of integration or any other feature, you can always address our help desk as well. There are tons of great articles there, and I'm sure Wheelhouse also has a help desk that can help you with everything pretty much. We do have a live chat at IGMS, and you can pretty much address any questions there as well. So yeah, we are open to any conversation and any question you have at any time. Great. I don't really see other questions coming in. Amelia, do you see anything, or maybe?
No, maybe we just explained everything so well there's no questions.
Okay, well, we were just so clear. Nice. Okay, well, then I see great explanation. Well, yeah, we actually see that the explanation was good enough.
And we could, just cover some frequently asked questions outside of the, onboarding process, anything like that you might want to cover. I'm trying to think of some other questions we get, which I think we touched on a bit with Kelly's question is, once you're integrated, what does it look like to adjust the pricing? So once your listings are all connected, you would spend time in Wheelhouse, and that's where you would make all of the adjustments to pricing and settings. And then there's some things that you would still do within IGMS for bookings-based things. But other than that, it's a good way to kind of consolidate your tech suite and put everything in one place. Are there any other, maybe commonly asked questions that you get throughout this process? People might be wondering later on.
We do actually have question that sometimes arises from those owning just one property. Why do we even need any tools? Because Airbnb already offers some tools. But in fact, we do have lots of clients with just one property who actually save so much time, and time costs and time costs money. That's true. And our customers would even with just one listing, so
Oh,
save
absolutely.
enormous amount of time. That's for the first, and for the second, we have so many features besides those that are on Airbnb. It's not only automated messaging. You can actually have all your listings in one place. You don't need to go to each OTAs to manage your listings. You basically can also manage your cleaners, reviews, use the power of stealth mode, and well, just so much more with the power of vacation rental software and with Wheelhouse as well.
Mhm.
So maybe Amelia wants to add something here because it's really a popular question.
Yeah, absolutely. Great point. Yeah, Wheelhouse works with people with one listing and, hundreds or thousands of listings, but the benefits I think are pretty, remain the same, which is, yeah, it's going to save you a ton of time. It'll give you the peace of mind that we're automatically updating your properties every single night while you sleep. But then also, allows you to intervene on rates and set your specific strategy. So I think overall, it's just it allows you to, with Wheelhouse and IGMS partner together, it really covers all of your bases. So it just requires some time up front to get everything set up. But then from there, it's an amazing investment in your business over time, just because they're both great platforms to grow with. And maybe we'll save you so much time that you find you have more time to grow your portfolio or spend it elsewhere. But really just the peace of mind that we're dynamically pricing you every single day, whether it's one listing or hundreds.
Yeah, thanks, Amelia, for this. I don't really see any more questions appear. So apart from our great explanation and some frequently asked questions, I think we can actually end the webinar because no questions, no more.
Sure.
So I really appreciate all of you taking time to attend this webinar. We will soon send you the recording so you can address it anytime. And I want to thank Amelia for preparing this webinar with us. And Amelia, do you want to say a few words in the end?
Yeah, I'm going to drop our sales email here. I will see this, so either myself or my team will see this and directly reach out. So feel free if you just want to poke around. Of course, no commitment necessary. Just happy to show you on the platform, and you can really see what it might look like to partner with Wheelhouse. But I think overall, IGMS and Wheelhouse together are a really powerful duo, and it's an amazing investment in your business long term. So excited about this for sure. Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you so much as well. And by the way, that was a great idea to shoot the email where our users actually can address, and I've added our support email. So whenever you have any questions, just let us know. With this said, we will be ending this webinar now. So have a great day and see you at our future events.
Very cool.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, team. Bye, everyone.